Welcome back to Lestertainment, the channel with the most deceptive name in all of YouTube. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Please remember to support my sponsors as you help support my channel. We all know that family will go to bat for you at the drop of a hat, and that is no different in martial arts. Today is all about seeing family members stepping in to try and defend the fighters who they assume needed their help desperately. Of course, as these are professional fights, they don't really need help as they are protected by the referee and other officials. They got in there and almost caused another fight to occur, or could have potentially gotten their family and fighter to be disqualified. We all know that Teofimo Lopez is an amazing boxer, but sadly because his dad thinks that he is some type of god and praises him as such, he is an extremely cocky fighter, and he really likes to taunt his opponents even after knocking them out.
Red, nose is bloodied.
That was Diego Magdaleno, who just got destroyed, even though he showed incredible heart to keep going as he was being completely dominated.
Right now it's target practice, and every time Lopez let his hands go, he's hitting something on Magdaleno.
He was much more
way and winked at us.
What does he get out of it?
I get the taunt when you first knock out the other guy, but why do it so much later when he is clearly having trouble recovering from the brutal hit you just delivered?
Backflip to celebrate, but get Magdaleno medical attention right now. He took it.
That's what caused Magdaleno's corner to get furious, with his brother and current boxer Jesse Magdaleno having to be restrained as he wanted to go after Teofimo Lopez.
Lopez said he was going to hurt him. He hurt him badly.
Then, when Diego was going to shake hands with Teofimo and show respect for each other, another member from his corner took a swipe at Teofimo.
Still undefeated, and now the unified NABF, NABA, and USBA lightweight.
The commentator said something really fitting, that Jesse should have been angry with his brother's corner for not throwing in the towel because he was getting dominated and there was no need for so much punishment. But again, Lopez can just try and relax a bit after the fight. Be more like Mayweather. He would insult the other guys before the fight in order to sell the fights, which he did beautifully, but then be completely humble and show a ton of respect for them after the fight. That's how he should be. Let's take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, which happens to be my favorite VPN, Surfshark. An awesome benefit provided by Surfshark is that it protects you from getting targeted ads, so you can feel safe that your privacy is not being invaded while hiding your location and avoiding any tracking. Also, with all the shopping that you will be doing this Black Friday that's coming up, because I'm gonna be spending money like crazy, so I'm going to do the following. Many online retailers may charge you more if you are from wealthier areas, so you can select a less affluent location in order to save some money. Finally, as we will be spending more time at home, a great benefit is that if you want to expand your streaming library, you can choose a popular country like the UK and be able to watch all the shows available on Netflix UK that are not available in your country, like Modern Family, which is a show that I enjoy. There is also a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is nothing to lose. You can get Surfshark VPN with a link in the description, and if you use promo code TOPLISTAS, you can get an 83% discount and four extra months for free. So make sure to act fast as it's limited to this Black Friday week only. Go and check them out right now. Jose Uscategui was set to fight against Andre Dirrell back in 2017, and the fight was pretty exciting, with Uscategui winning the early rounds and Dirrell coming back strong in the middle rounds.
Dirrell's hurt. Dirrell's hurt, guys.
Dirrell along the ropes. Trying to roll with
right hand, and there was the right on the temple.
in the fifth frame.
Lead because Dirrell can counter
There.
One for Andre.
At the end of the 8th round, Uscategui delivered a 3-punch combination, and unfortunately, the last punch was delivered after the bell.
Jab as he finds himself along the ropes, and not again after the bell.
I was after the bell.
Another late shot.
It was late, but he was in the middle of a combination, so it's hard to pull back when it's already in motion. Uscategui was disqualified, and he lost the fight, and Dirrell forgave him right after he recovered. Sadly, Dirrell's family outside the ring immediately lost their cool and started to try and get into the ring. His uncle and assistant trainer Leon Lawson Jr. did get in there and he sucker punched Uscategui with a really flush punch. But he's so weak that he didn't hurt him at all.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
My gosh.
That's inappropriate to say the
That's
least.
assault, you guys.
Regardless, he was suspended indefinitely for boxing and was charged with assault. Then it was Dirrell's turn to apologize, which he did, and he won the fight, so that was something. In the rematch, Uscategui continued his non-stop pressure style and forced Dirrell to retire after the 8th round as well.
Let's hope that the end of the 8th round is a clean one as Uscategui going on the attack again, landing. It's over.
The interim IBF.
This happened back in 1989. Tony Wilson was getting destroyed by Steve McCarthy against the ropes.
He's in trouble. Major Morton can stop this here.
The beating looked so bad that the one person who will always back you up stepped into the ring to help him out. That was Mina Wilson, who happens to be Tony Wilson's mom. She came in there like a superhero with her shoe in her hand, ready to beat some sense into her son's bully. I think that she's the one who trained her son to fight, because this lady actually hit McCarthy hard enough to cause him to start bleeding from his head. The result of this fight will shock you. Wilson was declared the winner.
The ring refuses to come back in despite the fact he was dominating the fight. The referee has no choice but to award the match to Wilson, who was then bombarded with plastic.
McCarthy thought that he had won the fight, as did everybody else, since somebody from Wilson's corner stepped into the ring, which should have been a disqualification. But nope, the referee said that the fight should continue, but McCarthy refused to come back because of the cut to his head that required 4 stitches. A riot ensued and Wilson's mother ended up being dragged from the ring by her hair by security. Wilson, of course, banned her mother from attending any more of his fights. The Canelo Alvarez unification fight against Caleb Plant brought out a ton of other boxers and celebrities, as Canelo's fights always do, and in attendance were the Charlo twins and Jarrett Hurd.
Let's go.
After the fight ended, Hurd and Jermell Charlo got into a dispute with nobody really knowing what started it, but somebody did hear, "I'll kill you and your bitch." And that's when Hurd got a little furious, and he tried to step around Jermell Charlo, who was keeping them apart. Of course, this caused Jermell to lose it and went after Hurd in order to defend his twin. It all came to nothing as there was a ton of people keeping them apart. The thing is that Hurd and Jermell were on track to fight in 2019, but since both fighters ended up losing their fights leading up to a potential matchup between them, it all fell apart. Hurd has taken a harder hit to his career, while Jermell jumped right back to the top. It looks to me that Hurd is looking to stay at the top by getting the champion mad enough and getting a shot at him, and I would be all for it. It would be a great fight, especially if there's personal beef between them, but I think that Charlo would stop him in the real fight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. took on Judah in 2006 in what many thought would be a great fight with 2 very fast boxers. Early on, it looked really competitive, with both fighters hurting each other.
He hasn't thrown any real hard punches. Weight 8 ounces.
Big left hand over the top by Judah. Leading the fight, Mayweather was relaxed and comfortable enough to spin all the time.
Mayweather eventually took control, which is what he always does. He studies his opponents and eventually figures them out.
Judah threw just 8 punches in that round.
In the 10th round, in the waning seconds, Judah landed a low blow to Mayweather and added a hit to the back of his head that caused the referee to give him time to recover. This is when both families stepped into the ring.
And there's a low blow by Judah. And Richard Steele pulls Judah off of Floyd.
First, Roger Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and trainer, stepped into the ring, which should have been an immediate disqualification for Mayweather, and went and complained to Judah for the illegal hits. That's when Judah's father and trainer rushed in to help his son and took a swing at Roger, and that's when everything went to hell.
Roger Mayweather there, that's the reason. why Roger Mayweather is going to be disqualified and taken away.
And then Jermell Judah
came across, and
that really ignited it.
And that's when
both corners jumped in and started a bit of a riot, with a dozen police and security having to step in to break it up. Roger Mayweather was ejected and the fight continued, with Mayweather getting the lopsided unanimous decision. In the aftermath, Roger lost his boxing license for a year and lost $200,000, while Jermell Judah also lost his license for a year and took a $100,000 hit to his wallet. Zab was also hit hard, with a 1-year suspension and $350,000 fine. This should have been Mayweather's first loss on a technicality, but the referee didn't have the guts to pull the DQ on the pound-for-pound king. If you enjoyed any part of this video, please give it a like, as it really helps me out with the algorithm. Also, please make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Thanks again to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to go check them out. It is really nice to see families stepping in to protect their fighters, even when you assume that the fighter is able to take care of himself, since, well, he's a professional trained fighter. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.